Holy peak! Hello everybody! So, for those that don't know, Bars TLC is here. And I already kind of checked it out in a VC with some friends. But I was like, oh, I gotta record this real quick. So, but also, if you guys can't tell, this is Grand Plains. Grand Plains has changed. And it even shows it on the map. Like, look! Look at this! This is so good! Like, wow! So, oh my god, is that the Central Rock? But also, oh, I'll get the bars in a second. I do want to cover a lot of the stuff in this new update. Because, holy, Outrun has been cooking. I think that's Central Rock. But like, dude, I'm just in shock. This came out of nowhere. This update came out of nowhere. But enough about Grand Plains. Let's actually run over to Impact Crater. And while I run over to Impact Crater, I'm gonna go over the Bars TLC. So, Bars is here. As you guys can tell, it's got a clean new model. It can also go into bipedal stance. I don't really know what importance this will be. I think it's going to be similar to Iggy in a way. I think there's going to have some abilities that are tied to the bipedal stance. But it's got a front kick now, kind of like PT's Para, which is pretty cool. And then this thing, let me just go into its abilities, has got a whole lot of stuff. So it's got these passives. So we got bipedal stance, which is pressing the crouch button, and then Ironclad. Heal status effects 100% faster. That's insane. And I went over the senses, and I think the best one is this one, but I'll go over them all real quick here. So Shockwave is an area of effect attacks now have 25% increased range. Area of effect attacks deal 50% reduced damage to group members, which is really good if you're in a group. And then Musician, 20% faster vocal ability cooldowns, and I'll get into why this might also be really good in a second. And then Family Chorus, which is increases stamina recovery when not grouped. While grouped, you and each Hadrosaur within 50 meters gain 10% stamina recovery, stacks up to 4 times. This thing's a big group dino now. And then the one I'm using is Dazing Impacts. Your area of effects now apply a Dazed for 3 seconds. While dazed, targets have reduced movement speed by 5% and can't use active abilities. Targets can only be dazed every 20 seconds. I think this would be more for a solo build, but it's solid either way, because it applies that daze effect kind of like what Packy does in Pycno. But honestly, all of these are just really good. And then for front limb, you just get the kick. Its metabolisms that didn't change. And then for hides, I went with Die Hard, but Thick Skin is also good, because while in bipedal, you get 25% increased attack. Which actually, that might be better, because then you do more with your kick. You also get 25% knockback resistance. But Die Hard is a 4 times increased stamina recovery and 50% faster attack cooldowns while below 35% health. Scaling with the amount of health missing, which is pretty good. Both of these are solid. And then for legs, it has a dash and braced legs. I have the dash on, and I think you can only use it when bipedal. Oh, wait. Oh no, you can only use it when you're running. So, and then yeah, it puts you in the bipedal and you just get a burst of speed. That's probably really good for escaping things. And then, let's go back into the abilities. So for the tail, it has 4 tail attacks. The primary, this one, which is basically just... Hey, really? Critter, go away. Actually, you know what? Let's use that charge tail real quick. I'll go over this one first. Why is he not dead? Go away, dude. Go. Why is this critter eating me? Okay. There we go. Anyways. So for tail attacks, I'll actually go over these... What is this one called again? The Smash. It's a charge tail attack. And then the longer you charge it, the more AoE damage it does. And also that just looks cool how the AoE effect looks. Like grass particles flew up into the air. That was cool. It's got a 10-second cooldown though. And then let me go to sleep real quick. So for the other one, this is basically just the original Tail Slam, just a slightly modified. I'll show it off real quick, but it's basically unchanged. So yeah, it's basically old Bar's Tail Slam. Nothing too crazy. And then the last one. Let me go to the last one. I don't know if this one will be really that useful, but it's called Sweep. It's a low-reaching tail attack that deals medium damage, but no knockback. So what it does is, I think this would be really good for countering small things that are behind you, because it sweeps the ground. And it's also pretty solid when on bipedal stance. So is the regular tail. But yeah, it's basically just a medium damaging tail attack. I'm in single player, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stick with the smash. Now for the voice calls. It has survival calls and combat calls. So and each have 3. So this thing has 6 calls in total, which is crazy. So the survival ones, Gorge increases food and water intake by 50% within 50 meters or 90 seconds for you and all nearby group members. Headstrong boosts knockback resistance by 50% for 120 seconds for you and all group members. And then Scent Tracker passively tracks the distance to the nearest berry bush within 200 meters. So they've basically somewhat implemented Scent from the Isle with this. I actually want to see how this works. Hold up. I want to see how that berry one works. So it should. Let me see. Wait, what is that green thing? Is it a passive? Wait. Passively tracks the distance to the nearest berry bush. Oh, so that's what that does. Because there's a berry bush over here, so yeah, look, you get closer to it. As you get closer, it fills up. That's pretty cool, actually. So, like, I make my way over to it, and yep, it's filled up. That's pretty cool, actually. That'll make finding bushes really easy for newer players. I mean, for people that have been playing the game for a while, a lot of people that main herbivores probably have a lot of bush sites memorized, but for new players, that's pretty good. Because sometimes I'll even forget where bushes are in certain locations. Now, I want to go over the combat calls. So there's Rallying Call, which is a call that increases all group members' armor by 50% within 50 meters. That's insane. A 50% armor buff to all group members is wild, dude. That's wild. And then Resilient Cry, a call that increases bleed and venom healing rates by 50% within 50 meters for 120 seconds for you and all your group members. That is also ridiculous. This thing is a unit, dude. Holy. And then Deafening Bellow, and this one I find interesting. A call that applies the deaf status to all dinosaurs within 50 meters. While deaf, you cannot receive any buff or debuff from any vocal abilities. This thing cancels vocal abilities. It doesn't say how long the deaf status lasts, but it's probably a few seconds. I'll have to get someone to test it, but unfortunately everyone's out doing their own thing right now, or actually recording their own videos for the Bars TLC. But this thing is holy peak. Now I want to see how the skins look, because the model is beautiful. This thing is gorgeous. Look at it. The skins are probably going to be really similar to what they were before, just a little updated to fit the new model. Also, I love how its nose kind of expands, like the air sacs. It's really cool. Yeah, all of its skins look solid, man. These are super cool. they've basically not really changed. They've just changed to fit the new model, and they might need to change that. That's the old model. And actually, let me go and let me look at the subspecies. Oh yeah, I forgot. They also added this. And are you sure you want to log out? Which is interesting. There's like a double check, like a whoa, you sure? But let me see the subspecies. So this is the one I'm using, the 10% health recovery. There's this one, which is stamina. And it kind of looks like an Oranosaurus. Like, is it just me, or does that resemble an Oranosaurus? Just with a shorter hump. And then this one kind of looks like an Edmont. With the bit of plates on it. And I like, the hump is very exaggerated. But it looks cool. I don't know, I just like this one the most. It looks more like a Bars to me. I mean, they're all great though. But let me just re-enter the world, because I do want to check out Impact Crater. Because Grand Plains and Impact Crater were changed. So let me just make my way over there. Also, wow, dude, look at Grand Plains. Look at all the detail. This almost reminds me of the Isle. This looks like Isle Legacy, in a way. For those Isle Legacy players out there. My god, dude, this is absolute cinema. I feel like this Bars' stamina has been nerfed a little bit. I feel like I'm not running as long as I used to on old Bars. But dang. What a peak update, dude. Alderaan has been cooking recently. Also, look at the trees. Look how they've been, like, pushed back because of the impact from what meteor probably hit this place. And then all the dead trees and stuff. Oh my god, dude. Look at Impact Crater. There is still water in the middle, right? Or did they get rid of that? I want to see. Hold up. Let me just get my stam back so I can just run down there. Is Impact Crater's water still there? Because it doesn't really show it on the map too much. I'm assuming questing here will still be pretty similar. Same with Grand Plains, because like there's still some mushrooms. I'm assuming rocks will be scattered. Oh! No, they got rid of the water. Oh, wait. No, it was just kind of stuck there. That was weird. Yeah, they got rid of the water here. Instead, they replaced it with an asteroid. Interesting. So Impact Crater's just changed forever now. There's no more water. I mean, it never really made sense as to why there was water in Impact Crater. Because, like, there's usually never water at a crash site of meteors anyways. But, I mean, it was cool, but that's going to change a lot of servers. They're like chill servers that people just sit in Impact Crater. Wow. But anyways, holy peak, y'all. Peak update. Alderaan. I applaud. Like, big round of applause. You guys have been cooking recently. But I'm assuming since Bars TLC is here, AoE has been reworked. And I mean, it does look reworked. I'm really hoping it's better. But I do want to check these animations out real quick before I end this video. And don't worry, I will do a PvP video on this thing, showing how its PvP works and stuff. But that'll be a separate video. It'll probably release today, if not tomorrow. Just stay tuned, y'all. But really quickly, I'm gonna go over the animations. These animations are nice, dude. I mean, I don't play Bars that much, so some of them might be similar. But from what I can tell, these do look new. Yeah, these are cool, dude. Yeah, they cooked. Holy. W Alderon. But yeah, stay tuned for that PvP video that should be coming out really, really soon. And I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe.